Yes, it's on. Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Hi.
We're a bit nervous, so bear with. Hey everyone, thanks so much for being here today. We really appreciate everyone's time. We're Tom and Geordie, known as Tasman Travels, and we're really excited to share with you a bit of our life on the road.
Yeah, so we live full time on the road travelling New Zealand now in our Australis Caravan. We've been on the road for 8 years now. This is our fifth setup, and today we're going to tell you how we got here, some of our lows, some of our highs, and you might laugh at us along the way. Hopefully I'm not too loud.
So van life online can look like endless sunsets, mountain views and lakeside coffees, and whilst that is part of it, what you don't see are the breakdowns, the weeks of
Not
rain.
mental breakdowns.
No. Or those midnight Google searches like how do you fix a leaky van?
Yep, midnight. So we're both originally from Cambridgeshire in the UK. We had pretty standard jobs. I was in property, Tommy was in the police, but we weren't really seeing each other enough. We've been together 12 years now. And so we was always like waiting for those holidays in Europe, like 2 weeks away.
And then came our once in a lifetime 3-week trip to Australia. By the time we landed back in the UK, we were already Googling visas and researching how to make it a long-term thing.
Yeah.
So we sold everything and moved down under.
When we went to Australia, we were young enough to go in on a working holiday visa, so for 2 years or so.
Yeah.
We ended up buying our first ever van. It was a 1998 Ford Transit called Muriel. She had no air conditioning.
No shower.
No shower. She was quite basic, but she was ours.
Yeah.
And so we circled Australia, we went to Tasmania, we went to Sydney, Blue Reef, had amazing times, but also really hard times, and we did get a few scars, literally, along the way.
The biggest low would probably be catching salmonella poisoning near Cooper PD in the Red Centre. I collapsed in the middle of the Stuart Highway.
Yeah.
We just had enough signal to call an ambulance. 3 weeks in hospital.
7 drips.
Yeah. Many hotels after that. We recovered and kept on moving.
Yeah, salmonella is horrible. Especially in a van with one toilet. So eventually our visas ran out and we ducked back over to the UK, but we definitely wasn't finished. It was van life was then in our blood, and so New Zealand was calling. So we came over here again on a working holiday visa, and that was 5 years ago. And we're now really happy to be permanent residents of Aotearoa, New Zealand, which is cool.
So we're still here. And our first New Zealand van was a Queenie, a pop-top Hiace, no heating, limited water, just an external solar panel, but we made it work.
We could stand up because it was a pop top.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was important.
Yeah.
Took us over most of the South Island, mostly to dock camps, hidden hikes, until the engine gave up on us.
Yeah, so the engine literally went kaput.
On Christmas.
On Christmas, outside Twizel.
Everywhere was closed.
We was on our own. Yeah. So anyway, we got the engine replaced, but then we got offered a job running a holiday park in Parkley, which is North Warkworth, North Auckland. We did that for a year or so.
Yeah.
Fantastic little community in Parkley. We made a lot of really good friends. We gave the park a Qualmark. It was great, but we left the UK to get out of the rat race. So we soon had to leave that and hit the road again.
So we bought our Matilda, Mercedes Sprinter with a real bathroom, heater, a bed that stayed made all the time. It had all the luxuries that we wanted for a long time, and she took us all over the North and South Island, and we loved her.
And so that was 2 years ago, and that's when we decided to start sharing our travels, and Tasman Travels was born. Not initially called that, as some of you know, but it's now Tasman Travels. And it started off as a hobby. All of our parents and friends and that were saying, you need to share this, and we're actually quite shy people, so it was a bit of a thing.
It took a lot of courage to get there.
Yeah, but then creating content and sharing our adventures on YouTube and everything has now turned into what we do the majority of our time.
Yeah. We have funded a lot of it through remote IT work as well, which pays the bills, and the van lets us roam.
So Matilda, Mercedes Sprinter van, we can't rate them enough. She was rock solid. She was kitted out with loads of solar. We got AA solar to do that at that time. We got some thermal blinds custom made from America to keep it warm.
All-terrain tyres.
All-terrain tyres, because we fell off a road up in the far north. So all-terrain tyres. And
highlights would be winter in Fjordland.
Yeah, so Fjordland National Park, if you haven't been, you need to go. It is absolutely spectacular. It was freezing cold, it was wet.
But there was no one around.
It was paradise.
Yeah. And we loved going for short walks, following the river, going for dips in the ice-cold river.
We'll leave that to you.
It was good fun.
Yeah. And then came our belated honeymoon in Vietnam.
Oh, yeah.
After luxury hotel comforts, we returned to the rain, cold van and thought we're either going to quit or give up. You had a bit of a meltdown.
Yeah, so it was grey, it was cold, it was miserable, and the space just got cabin fever. So we didn't give up. We upgraded, and we was able to get an all-terrain off-grid Caravan, which changed everything.
Yeah, the Caravan really did change everything. No more packing up to run errands, more space, freedom to explore in our ute, while keeping the cosy home
base.
And not just turning the driver's seat around and being in the same space.
Yeah, so, and then that now brings us, we're going like super fast. Super slow. That brings us on to the Australis era. So we're extremely proud to be the first official brand ambassadors for Australis caravans. And we have a custom 21-foot high country extreme that we designed and they built for us.
It really is our dream rig. We've put everything in that we wanted over the years.
Yeah, so from the floor to the ceiling, we've designed it. And it's over on OS46 if you want to come and check it out. I know a few of you already have. We get asked what makes our life on the road comfortable, and there's a few different things.
A few favourites that come to mind. So a solid solar lithium setup. We've got 1,000 watts of solar, 600 amps of lithium, which we think on the road in winter is sufficient. To get through winter.
Yeah, we've got 300 litres of fresh water that we can hold, and we also TowPro Group who are here. We've got a water bladder from them. That's custom designed to go in the back of your ute, footwell. So if your caravan runs out of water, you can just take the bladder, go fill it up and bring it back in.
And you can keep doing that, so your stays can be indefinite if you want them to be.
Yeah.
Muck mats.
Muck mats. Living in a van is filthy. It can be minging sometimes.
Yeah.
So you want to try and keep everything out of your van. So we use muck mats, not the fake ones, the real ones. Can't break them enough, like just to keep stuff out of the van.
Instant hot water with a water saver valve, so you don't waste any water waiting for the water to get hot, and you don't have to pre-boil the water, it's just there on tap all the time.
Yeah, and having a permanent bed made, so we don't have to make the bed every single time, and also because it's our home, like we use Meow Wild bedding, so it's very good quality, it's flax, so it's breathable. And it's comfortable. You don't have to be slumming it.
Yeah, you don't have to. A compost style toilet, which we've just got. No more dump points, which we hate.
Dump points are mean.
We've had so many occasions where people are watching over us at the dump points.
Yeah, what's that about?
Yeah. It's really wrong.
So now, because of this, it's actually tiny by separate. It's a European design. It's completely waterless, and there's more about that on our YouTube and website. But it's brilliant.
And durable outdoor gear. We use navigator gear, which is decent, sturdy stuff that won't need replacing a few months down the track.
Yeah. So what we tend to say now, if you can, we know that it's not available for everybody, but if you can buy once, buy good.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than something failing when you're in the middle of the bush.
And also reliable internet. We mainly use Wireless Nation, and we've got Starlink Mini as a backup, just in case. We're trialling it as we go, but so far Wireless Nation has been great.
Yeah.
Also
e-bikes.
Yeah.
e-bikes. So we have Cinch e-bikes, and it means we can leave the whole setup in our home for that couple of weeks or whatever, and just go for miles on e-bikes. They are worth the investment. They really, really are.
Yeah, definitely.
We keep them in our canopy. We don't keep them on show. So they stay in the canopy of our ute because we hear horror stories that get nipped and stuff.
Can you turn the music down?
Can you turn the music down?
Thank you.
So, why do we live this way? Freedom is the main one. We can wake up anywhere, choose our neighbours, and move on whenever the mood strikes, which we often do in the mornings. Just like, let's go.
Yeah.
New Zealand's scenery and safe, well set up camping network makes it unbeatable, we think.
Yeah, there is really good camping available in New Zealand if you've got the right ways to find it. But also financially, living on the road can be really, really affordable. We don't pay rent, we don't pay for water, we don't pay for electricity.
And if you've got the right off-grid setup, it can be cheap.
Yeah, we don't plug in. We don't like that. So some not so much anymore, but some motorhome caravan brands are designed for you to go and plug in at a holiday park. They don't give you enough solar, they don't give you enough water capacity. And for us, especially after running a holiday park, that's not freedom. We want a setup where we can go out in the bush, do our own thing, not be reliant on 50 cents. What do we used to charge? $70 a month for a pound site? That's crazy.
So moving on to some big questions that we've always asked. How do you live in such a small space?
Patience.
Yes. Communication is key. Everything in the van has to have its place.
Yeah, so even if you've got a drawer or a cupboard where you just shove stuff away, it still has a place.
And it needs to be put back there quickly, otherwise it gets...
Does it? Yeah. Yeah, it does. Because the small little things can build up super quick. And then suddenly, I mean, everybody lives different, but for it to be calm and a nice home, we have to have things relatively neat.
And that comes on to arguments. Arguments get sorted out really quickly. You have to confront your arguments. There's nowhere to escape to. So we just, we have a yarn and then we move on.
Have an argument. But we'll argue anywhere. If an argument's going to happen, it's going to happen. It's not because you're in a small space.
No.
So how do we afford it? So obviously, our brand, Tasman Travels, our vlogging has become something now. So we have YouTube, various partnership deals and affiliations that we're connected with, earn us money, but also Tommy works 3 days a week remotely in IT, an Australian company, taking a break at the moment. But you really do spend less, and you don't need as much as you think. We tend to hoard stuff in houses. When we get all this space, we feel like we need to fill it. When you get into a smaller space, you really quickly realise you don't need stuff you haven't looked at in 3 months.
And next one, where do you stay? So we mostly stay at dock sites, freedom camps, or low-cost park-over properties, or NZMCA parks. Very convenient. The dock pass we find pays for itself very quickly.
So dock, if you don't know, it's Department of Conservation.
We use apps like the NZMCA app, WikiCamps, and Campermate.
So when we get asked that a lot, what apps do we use? We tend to use them all because a lot of them don't get updated, or some will have different sizes, some will have others. Some of them want you to go to a holiday park, but actually it's a freedom camp. So we have them all. And we also sometimes, if we're really unsure, we'll actually email or call the local council. And they're more than happy to tell you where you can legally stay and for how long.
Next question, what's the hardest part? Breakdowns can be super...
Rig breakdowns.
Not mental breakdowns. Can be stressful and very expensive when it's your home. Especially if you have to leave it at repairers for a few days.
So we're insured by COVID Insurance. Their policy we've got with them suits us down to a T for VANLIFE. If we do have to, we've only had it 3 weeks, so hopefully not anytime soon. If the new caravan does have to go in, our policy will give us accommodation to stay in for a few nights, it's covered, it's paid, whilst they can fix whatever the issue is.
Bad weather, but everyone has to deal with bad weather. I don't think it really affects us any more than anyone else living in a house. A big one would be missing family and friends. It's harder to keep connections when you're constantly on the move.
Yeah, especially those abroad. But the thing is, when you're in this community of van lifers, you meet so many different people from all backgrounds of life, all age groups, all different views, but you've all got this one thing that connects you, and that's the freedom to tour and to explore this beautiful country.
Yeah.
And so we've made some amazing friendships on the road.
And you'll always bump into each other further down the track. New
Yeah.
Zealand's tiny.
You have an understanding that you're not going to see them all the time. It could be months, but when you do see them, they're real friends, a real connection. And then if you actually don't like them, you can leave. But, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Next one, what advice would you give to beginners?
Start small.
Yeah.
You don't need luxury, you don't need the biggest thing straight away.
You don't need the perfect rig.
No. We started small and we've been lucky enough to be where we are now, but you will learn what you need as you go. So people will be in your ear, you need this, you need that, even us, but you'll figure it out yourself. And some people are fine in a tiny wee van. Some people have these huge buses, which are awesome, but you'll figure it out.
Yeah,
Start small, don't spend an awful lot straight away, because it might be wrong, you know?
Next one is, the next chapter, lessons learned. I need some water.
Okay. So keep it simple. The less you own, the less stuff that can go wrong, the less stuff to worry about, and stay flexible. Sometimes an app will say there's space in a campground and there's not, so you might have to have a backup plan. Sometimes you can't fit in a campground, which we've had a few times. So you have to stay flexible as well. And we love going to NZMCA parks. We're very proud to be NZMCA members, but don't live your life just going to every single NZMCA park. If you do have a bit of adventure in you, or go bush, give it a go. Go out in the backcountries, and you can always turn around.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Next one, join the community.
Like the NZMCA.
Say yes to random campsite chats and join networks like the NZMCA.
No sponsorship.
And say hi to your neighbours when you're at a campsite as well.
Yeah, that we find that really important. We'll always try and say hello to somebody if we see them. Not necessarily have a yarn, but just wave. Because sometimes you'll find maybe solo travellers or newbies, and they're a bit unsure, they're a bit nervous, especially some people don't like the idea of freedom camping. So if you just put a hand up and say kia ora or hello,
let them know that you're friendly.
Yeah, and then lock your door.
And always remember your why.
Your why.
So for us, it's adventure, connection, sharing New Zealand through Tasman travels. That keeps us going when the lows hit.
Yeah, it's true. So travelling New Zealand is an absolutely beautiful thing to do, and this country is so amazing. That's why we're now living here. But it also can be very brutal. It's taught us resilience. It's taught us patience as a couple. But it's also fed our adventure. Just to keep going. Don't stop moving. Don't fester.
And we also appreciate the little things in life now as well. At the end of the day, it's not really about the van. It's about the life you create with it. That's what makes it worthwhile. The stories, the people, the places. Yeah, so
thank you for listening. You can, if you're not already, you can follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Tasman Travels, and we do have a website, TikTok. A website, don't look at the TikTok. The website where all our gear is on and our vlog and more information.
And Patreon, we've got an exclusive chat community.
If you've got any questions, we're an open book.
Ask us anything about van life, our experiences, our biggest fails.
Great talk, guys. Great talk.
Oh, great.
Have you got an end date?
Say again?
Have you got an end date?
No.
No, never.
No end date.
No, eventually we will. So, is the mic on?
No, it's Jenny.
It's outside.
Yeah.
No. Eventually we will settle down, but we've got no idea where that would be.
No.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah. It's like recently we did a couple of house sits and pet sits, which was great fun between the transition of the two vans. And we really, really quickly realised it was way too much space, these houses, but also we were so bored being in one place.
Yeah.
For us, we had to we couldn't wait to hit the road again.
No.
Yeah. So no.
Are you starting to feel like, oh, we've been there, like you're running out of new places to go?
I feel like I forget places a lot.
Yeah.
Husbands of
You do forget, but it's like we now have. There's only 2 regions we haven't explored, and that was the Hawke's Bay and Gisborne, and that's because when we was about to go to that area, the cyclone, because we're filming, we didn't want to film it in a state of sadness, and we wanted to leave them be. But everywhere else, we've we now know our favourite places, so we tend to go where we love more now, really, don't we?
Yeah. And we enjoy it just as much from the first time.
Yeah, and there's places we don't like, which I'm not going to tell you.
Go on.
No. You have your places. Yeah.
Excuse me, what would you spend on fuel?
Oh,
That would be the most expensive in food?
yeah.
Food.
Yeah.
So with fuel, we're not really sure.
We don't tend to travel that far. Like we'll go half an hour down the road or an hour. So really, it's pretty economical.
But we have all the Kiwi fuel cards. We have the Cohen, and they're fantastic. We highly recommend signing up to them. And we tend to go to the truck stops because that's where it's cheapest. And we've got some friends who don't want to do that because it comes out monthly. So instead of paying as you go, it's a bill every month.
Direct debit.
If you're comfortable with that, get the savings.
Saving half the fuel.
Exactly. Yeah. And what they print out on the receipt you get, it's not actually what you pay less than that.
Yeah.
Your photography is amazing. Do you use a drone to...
Yeah. What is it?
A DJI Air 3. It's my 3rd drone.
Every time a new drone comes out, it tends to crash the old one.
You guys have gone with the composting toilet. Is 100% a good decision for you?
Yeah, so it's not composting as in your traditional churning and stuff.
Composting is a bit of a misnomer because it never gets to that stage of composting anyway, no matter what composting toilet you have.
Yeah.
We wouldn't look back.
No, so ours is called Tiny by Separate, and I think they're like £2 grand, £3 grand.
$2 grand.
But they're a real sturdy bit of kit. They're on knockoffs, which they have a really similar name, but they're not as good. And we've only been using it for a couple of weeks now, but yeah, brilliant, just brilliant. It's that whole thing about being able to stay off grid longer. Yeah. So because there's no plumbing, you can fit it yourself, or you need to get an electrician in, but you can put it in really, really easily within an hour.
And it's on your website.
Yes, I think it's
The link or something.
it will be.
It will be.
Sorry.
Oh yeah. How long does it take for you to empty it, and then where do you empty it?
So it's 2 separate canisters. The urine canister, which fills up in about 3 days. We've got 2 of those. And then the other canister for your other business is lasts about 2 weeks.
No, it's about a week, isn't it?
Well, it says 2 weeks.
It depends how much you use it.
Yeah.
Like if we're out in the bush, we'll go for a wee outside.
Yeah.
But it depends how much you use it, and then we're still learning it. Okay, it's very new to us as well. It's
So
really
your experience based on your 2 or 3 weeks, you're completely happy.
brilliant.
Very happy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant. And we'll, because it is new to us, we will give you honest updates on our vlog and YouTube and that. If it's gone wrong, we'll tell you, or if we don't like it. But at the moment, it's great. They do say blokes have to sit down to wee, which is a bit like, and you don't.
Yeah, you don't have to. I don't know.
Good aim.
Good aim.
Yeah.
What about grey water? Grey water.
Yeah, so how much do we have?
200 litres of grey underneath the van.
So that's where you have to go to a dump station.
How long does it last?
Well, we haven't used it really. No, we haven't really used it, so I don't know. But we tend to try and travel empty. We try and travel with limited water, no grey. If where we're going has water, just to make the van lighter.
Because it's a heavy rig.
Yeah, so our new van is 2.910, 3.5 tanks. So we want to try and preserve as much fuel as we can.
Did you guys get an air conditioning? I can't remember. Yeah, so that's 50 kg.
Yeah. Max air fan.
Yeah, you don't need air conditioning in New Zealand.
No.
We don't believe. We've travelled in Australia, definitely. So a max air fan, it's a 12 volt, it's really light, and it will suck loads of fresh air in when you want it to. It's got a remote, or it'll take air out if it's stuffy. And it's more than enough, we believe, for New Zealand. Most of the people who have air conditioning will have to go and plug in somewhere to use it.
Yeah.
So,
And they're noisy as hell.
and they're pretty ugly.
When
How do you find doing the IT work on road? Like, do you have a good, you said about
No issues at all. No.
So we use Wireless Nation mainly, and then if we're going out bush, we'll switch to Starlink. Because you can pause your Starlink subscription, because it's expensive. You can pause it every month if you're not using it. And then we always have signal. And we also have fitted something called Cowfish Technologies. What does that do?
It just works with the Starlink system, so it allows you to extend the Starlink Mini up to like 25 metres away from the van if you pass them.
It's an antenna on the roof of the Caravan. So we would never be without signal ever now, unless we wanted to.
Is that like showing up a signal to be doing things like video meetings and stuff?
Yeah, and editing YouTube, which takes hours and power, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Hope so.
Have you done like the touristy stuff, like the bungee jump, or are you guys brave enough to do that?
I did the bungee jump a couple of years ago.
Before we started sharing it, we did lots of tourist stuff.
I think you should go back and do it again.
Yeah, I think
Do you
it
want
would
to
be
pay
great.
for it?
The canyon swing, I don't know whether it's the same, but the canyon swing, when we went and took our boys, that was cheaper than the packet. And you paid your money to do the first one, but if you wanted to do another one, it was only $39.
Oh, wow.
So me and the boys, we did it again.
Yeah, you'll never catch me.
So I suppose
No,
Rick was brave enough.
We do touristy stuff, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do stuff as collaborations.
Yeah.
So we'll get approached by, like we're doing a collaboration with Hobbiton on Tuesday. So the Waikato approached, and they're like, oh, do you want to come to Hobbiton?
And we've got Hobbit outfits as well.
Yeah.
It's International Hobbits Day. So,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. If we go to a town, even if there's a little old museum, we've got in, how do you say it? Te Awamatu?
Yeah, I want you to.
Wow, look at that. There's a space museum there. It's a really little old
That's
thing.
in Kiki.
That's in Kiki.
There. There's a space museum, and that's great.
Yeah.
It's just this little thing run by this chap on his own.
Yeah.
There's so many like little hidden cool
Gems,
things to do in these little towns.
And we're really excited to get back on the road and start doing all these things and
Yes.
sharing them all with you, because we haven't for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's been a lot of products and
Yes.
quiet
Yeah,
time
yeah.
and stuff where we've been
Yeah.
planning having a caravan.
Yeah.
We're heading back down to the South Island in a week. Yeah.
Next time.
Oh, it's time.
Oh, thanks. Okay, cool. Thank you, everybody.
Well done.